My coworker ranted that I cheated weight loss. HR punished me, and the head of HR stepped in. I came back to work after a month on emergency leave, still sore but alive. A new doctor did an MRI during a routine visit, found a mass, and I was in surgery within 24 hours. They took out an 18-pound benign tumor that had been crushing my organs. I was about a week from organ failure. I woke up scared, grateful, and smaller. Right now, my numbers look fine, and I breathe easier. On the outside, the biggest change was size. I went from XXL to a medium almost overnight. No one on my medical team saw a change like that coming, but it happened, and I'm lucky. I expected people to ask about it at work. I had a simple line ready. Emergency surgery. I'm okay. Most people nodded and moved on. One coworker didn't. Her name is Aubrey. On my first day back, Aubrey walked up to my desk and smiled like we were friends. She said she wished I had come to her to lose the weight instead of taking the easy way out. She said I would gain it all back and she'd be waiting. I knew she called herself a health coach and pushed advice on everyone. I didn't think I'd be a target. Then she asked why I chose to get butchered instead of putting in hard work. I said I had emergency surgery to remove a tumor. She rolled her eyes and told a coworker I just didn't want to admit it. Week 2, near closing time, she showed up at my door in gym clothes. She said she could go with me if I was afraid to go to the gym alone. My surgeon still hadn't cleared me to lift my kid, carry laundry, or climb a full flight of stairs. I said no. She said I was lazy and the weight would come back. She left like she had won something. The next day I missed a meeting for a follow-up. Aubrey used the meeting to rant about me. People later told me she said if I couldn't commit to weight loss, I couldn't commit to my job. HR flagged it and called for a red flag mediation. At our company, that kind of meeting can count against your bonus. I had no idea why I had to sit down with someone who kept harassing me. At the mediation, Aubrey said my new body was triggering and I should have warned her before my surgery. I barely had time to warn my wife and get our kid out of daycare. HR said they couldn't force me to share medical info, but it might help if I told her what kind of surgery I had and why. I said my medical history is private. They shrugged and said they couldn't stop her from talking. I walked out shaking. After Thanksgiving, my doctor helped me file ADA paperwork so I could work from home. I had mild complications and I needed distance from Aubrey. The company hates remote work, so HR was upset. Aubrey kept emailing me workout videos and diet plans. I forwarded them to HR. HR replied, "Noted. When are you coming back to the office?" Management tried to help in their own way. My boss, George, was training his replacement and getting ready to retire. They met with Aubrey's boss. I had been documenting everything from day one. Managers told me Aubrey would be dealt with. None of them asked for the mediation. That was HR. When George found out, he argued with HR. An HR manager said my absence probably caused extra work for Aubrey, even though she isn't qualified to do my job. Every time something flared up, my bosses told me they were on it. My doctor extended my ADA accommodation. HR answered by calling my attendance a concern. I sent the HR director a clear email. He replied that my medical paperwork, including FMLA and ADA, didn't hold much weight with the company. That was the moment I hired a lawyer. On my lawyer's advice, I went over everyone's heads and called the chief HR officer. I asked why my attendance was an issue with valid ADA paperwork. She had no idea any of this was happening. I told her about Aubrey, the mediation, the emails, and the director saying medical documentation didn't matter. She asked to meet with me and my lawyer right away. In the meeting, she listened, took notes, and looked furious. She offered extended paid medical leave so I could recover, and said Aubrey's behavior would be dealt with swiftly. For a while, everything was quiet. I heard the HR staff who ran the mediation and pushed write-ups were let go. Aubrey wasn't fired, they said, because HR had misled her, but she was put on a strict performance plan. I focused on healing. Then one weekend, my doorbell rang. Aubrey was on my porch with 2 women I'd never seen. She said she was worried about my physical and professional health and wanted to demonstrate workouts, bring supplement samples, and talk about a career opportunity. She had fallen deep into an MLM. My mother-in-law was visiting and answered the door. She told them to leave and shut it. They left fast. I emailed my lawyer and the chief HR officer and sent them a timeline of the visit. Security and legal followed up. Aubrey is no longer with the company, and I stayed on leave to finish my recovery. Now some friends are saying I ruined her career by reporting her. Was I wrong?